I am now on a road trip in Iceland, approaching the East Fjords with three amazing humans, Bob, Giada and Luigi. I only have one goal, documenting our journey on film and creating the best imagery I can. Hello and welcome to your favorite family-friendly film photography channel. This is the second part of the Iceland road trip series. If you haven't seen the first video, I will put a link in the description. And there's not much to say. I am traveling in Iceland with amazing people taking film photos. Just a quick side note, this is not a gear photography channel, but I use the Leica MP and a Nikon F100 to take all the photos that you will see in this video. So please sit down, relax and enjoy. At the end of the last episode, we camped in front of the immense Vatnajökull glacier, and I'm waking up on the third day of the road trip to a glorious sunrise view.
Although we might disagree, if most our lives are lived in black and white.
After taking a couple of photos of our sexy neighbors and having a nice breakfast, we were once again on the road.
The same old people, the same old steeples on every corner.
The sun was shining and the scenery was so beautiful it didn't even feel real. We stopped at the front of Vatnajökull, where the glacier melts and massive icebergs floats in a freezing cold lake.
That slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most are
And of course, as good Italians, we thought that was the perfect place for a coffee break. These short coffee stops on the road were one of my favorite parts of this trip. Just us, a warm cup of coffee or tea, and the untamed beauty of Iceland surrounded us.
we all say grace, buying liquor on a Sunday across the county lines, where the raindrops rolling off the rooftops, making the clouds stop for just a little while. Oh, slow living can be life-giving.
So it's day 3 of the road trip, and yeah, weather is finally great. We are now in the east part of Iceland, and we are basically approaching the East Fjords. Today I only shot 20 photos. I hope I will find some more interesting landscapes to shoot.
That day I was struggling, I wasn't even speaking too much. I was very tired, the jet lag was hitting me hard and I couldn't find any good compositions, or at least I thought so. I was basically being hard on myself for no reason. We continued our drive along the East Fjords, a long, slow road following the rugged, dramatic coastline.
Giving space for the words we hold inside to come out.
I'm gonna load Kentmere 400 on the Nikon, pushed one stop, and Portra 800 on the Leica. I have 2 rolls of this shit. These cost more than my apartment in Tokyo.
After an hour, we found a lighthouse and stopped to explore. Low clouds were covering the surrounding hills, and the gentle dim sunlight created soft pastel-like colors. After more driving, we spotted an orange lighthouse in the distance, with some abandoned houses nearby. Of course, we had to stop again. The abandoned houses covered in graffiti were actually perfect. The decay of human-made things in contrast with that majestic natural landscape was just incredible. It was already late, so we drove to the campsite, and what a surprise that was. That place ended up being the best campsite of the whole trip. As it got darker, the sky showed beautiful magenta tones, and because the campsite were nearby a small lake, we had the perfect conditions to photograph the scene.
So the campsite we are staying at is so cool, and there's like some steam coming up from this pond, and it looks amazing. Also, this cabin looks fucking awesome. Yeah, so after a long day of drive, we finally arrived at this beautiful location, pretty much at the center of these fjords.
The next day we woke up to another beautiful morning. That day wasn't particularly eventful. We spent a lot of time driving. We had left the east coast of Iceland and we were approaching the north part of the island. We visited the huge waterfalls of Dettifoss and spent the afternoon exploring, driving and relaxing. We eventually arrived at the northern coastline, where we found beautiful cliffs, a mating ground for puffins. Unfortunately, the weather kept getting worse throughout the day. The scenery was still beautiful, but the cold wind was hard to ignore. Just before setting up camp, we drove past a deserted beach. We followed a dirt road, parked, and explored the area.
I really like this photo. It looks like an indie album from the 90s.
We finally reached the north shores of Iceland. That's Bob. And today was actually a pretty nice day. Weather was okay. I didn't take too many photos because I think there were not so many opportunities, but that's okay. We still have roughly 4 days ahead of us. Photography-wise, today I think it was very slow, not much going on. But anyway, not a big deal. It just happens. But we had a great time.
We arrived at the campsite very late and were exhausted, so we decided to eat at the campsite's restaurant. The food was surprisingly good, and the host, Mr. Olafsson, was by far the nicest person we met in Iceland. He almost forced Luigi to marry one of his daughters, but that's another story.
We are now in Hofne.
No,
Hofang.
no, questo è
Harfang.
Usvik.
No.
Sì,
Uzbek.
qualcosa del genere.
Harfan. Uzavik. As I said.
We woke up to a gloomy, cold morning. The campsite was near a coastal town called Husavik, so we headed there for breakfast and to see the place.
Just calling to see if you're free to run away with me.
Grande Bob. Ela. Quella. Figa. At least one Italian watching this video. At least two. My mom and my dad. Okay. Then we need to. So be careful with the bestemmie.
We continued exploring the north area of the island. This is the least crowded area in Iceland. People say it's how it looked like 15 years ago, before mass tourism came. That day, we barely spoke. We just drove for hours and hours, breathing in the beauty of that place.
Hello, I'm your new host, Bob. Right now, we're stuck in this, it's not even a tunnel, it's like a cave. Look at the walls. Look, it's just like a hole in the mountain.
It's one lane both ways.
Yeah, one lane, both ways. And we are in disadvantage here. We are the ones who have to wait. And Tommy is not taking this too well.
No, guys, this is insane. And like, this is insane. So, basically, we are in this spot. We are sorry to interrupt your favorite family-friendly film photography show. There's nothing to worry about. Please relax, grab a cup of tea, and remember, your kids are perfectly safe here. We eventually reached the town of a small fishing village hidden in the fjords. It was one of the longest and most tiring days of the whole trip.
We reached a nearby campsite and called it a day. We were exhausted. And this is the end of the video. If you liked it, please consider leaving a comment and subscribing. I know the first part of the video is way better than the second one, but it's just because the location, the weather, everything was just stronger in terms of storytelling and visuals. But don't worry, because I'm working on the third and final part of this series, and that's gonna be the best that you've seen so far. We're gonna see incredible stuff, we're gonna go to crazy places, so if you're following me on this journey, please stick around, because you will not be disappointed. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for staying with me until now, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.